Hi guys, and welcome back to Cash Bright, your guide to investing in an ever-increasingly uncertain financial world. Chris here. I've been wondering why investors have been jumping on the AMD stock, at a time when of course almost every business will be having to scale down its commercial operations and lower their sales and revenue projections. Tech stocks have really been on the up recently, and AMD naturally falls into that category. In case you don't know, they produce semiconductor devices such as microprocessors, chipsets, graphic cards, etc. Now, like most stocks, its stock price has been up and down during this year, but more recently, we've seen the stock hit a peak of $78, an increase of around 70% from the start of the year. So why are investors suddenly more optimistic about this stock? And even more so than they were this time last year, at a time of course when we were not dealing with such an unprecedented economic shock to the global economy. Well, the answer can most likely be found in its recently reported financials and the relative performance of its closest rival, Intel. AMD's second quarter results were better than many predicted, beating their first quarter performance and with revenue 26% higher than this time last year. The company projects even stronger numbers for this year's third quarter, driven by growth in their gaming, PC, and data-related products. Now, the launch of their Ryzen 4000 series of desktop chips has been a big hit in particular, as manufacturers such as Lenovo and HP agreed to include them in their PCs going forward. These positive moves by AMD are to be contrasted with the woeful performance of Intel, where the company's stock price fell more than 20% from the 22nd of July to the 1st of August. This was largely the result of Intel reluctantly announcing that the launch of their latest series of computer chips will be delayed by 12 months. And this news comes after its previous generation of chips were also launched behind schedule. Now, what we've likely seen here is a classic substitution effect, where investors could no longer justify sticking with the giant of the American tech industry, Intel, and therefore reallocated, if you will, their money and attention towards their closest rivals, AMD. But another question to ask is, why are AMD doing so well? It can't simply be down to their nature as a tech company, which, like others, are more able to withstand the detrimental effects of the pandemic. Well, first of all, lockdown has meant that millions of people have been stuck at home and made more reliant on their computers for work, shopping, and leisure. Businesses who were not ready for their employees to work from home were forced to buy new computer equipment, whilst individuals were naturally confronted with any shortcomings to be found in their existing home computer setup. From this perspective, a surge in AMD revenues makes a lot of sense. But I think it's more than that. AMD have also been aggressively eating up Intel's market share, as Intel have struggled to keep up with AMD's development of processors. Intel makes its own chips, but they have suffered, perhaps through having too much vertical integration, whilst AMD have steamed ahead by producing their processors through the Taiwanese manufacturer TSMC. AMD's 7nm chips are generally cheaper than Intel's 10nm chips, and are seeing comparatively stronger demand, even despite the fact that industry experts broadly agree that Intel's chips still outperform AMD's chips. What I think though is that AMD have really been on the ball, and they have capitalised on the mistakes of Intel as well as its supply side frailties. So the picture's looking good so far for AMD and its stock. How will it perform over the next 12 to 24 months? No one really knows because, of course, the stock market seems to follow its own tune. If you have managed to invest in AMD before the recent price rises, I say well done you. Should you buy the stock now in anticipation of it growing further? Well, I would say hold off for the time being. The stock has a relatively high beta score of 2.13, indicating that its price is likely to fluctuate a fair bit. Personally, I would have this stock as one to watch, as there may be better buying opportunities to come in this sector. Incidentally, I also wouldn't count Intel out of your investing considerations at this point, despite their recent troubles. The fall in their stock price may, in fact, be a great time to bet on the company's recovery. Intel, after all, is still the household name for processors, and if the company can learn from these setbacks, its stock has every chance of rebounding over the next 12 to 18 months. Thanks for watching. If you found this video to be helpful, please leave a like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And until the next time, stay sharp, stay hungry, and stay cash bright.